and welcome to the e-learning video, The Power of Play, Getting Back to Basics for Optimal Language Learning. My name is Lynn Carson. I am a speech and language pathologist, and I'll be guiding you through the video today. I'd like to start by looking at this quote to really set the tone for this video. I think toys, especially toys that are geared towards the early years, I think have become really overly complicated, and this generation seems to think that toys for young children need to have a lot of bells and whistles on them in order to be considered worthwhile or educational. And that really isn't the case. It's actually a lot of those classic toys that we think about, the blocks, the ball, those kinds of classic toys that are actually really super for language development. And in fact, the fewer bells and whistles, the better. So just going through this quote, until the last quarter of the 20th century, new variety of toys were slow to emerge, and there was little change from one generation to the next. Recent years, however, have seen the appearance of a variety of new forms of play materials that are highly structured, highly complicated, and technologically advanced. Such toys appear to encourage activity that might be referred to more accurately as entertainment than as spontaneous play, and they often substitute the imagination of their creators for those of the children who interact with them. I just thought that quote was really great and something to keep in mind as we're going through and talking about play and language development in this video. Anybody who has watched some of my other videos knows that I like to start with the why. Why are we even going to watch this? What's the value? Well, as you know by the title, we're going to learn about play, and a lot of parents are surprised when I tell them that play is actually a skill. It's a skill that develops. There are a certain sequence of play skills we expect to see when children are babies and move through into the school years. And play skills, if children aren't given the opportunity to practice and use their play skills, say by spending a great deal of time in front of a screen, then play skills can actually be stunted, and you see children with underdeveloped play skills. Language and play are very closely related. When a speech pathologist comes in to assess a child, they also look at their play skills as well as their language skills. We know from research that parents who play with their babies and their children, are providing this extra level of support, and you can see it in their social, emotional, cognitive, and language development. But it's not just about playing with your child. How you play with your child can really make a difference, and we'll talk more about that in the rest of the video. We also know, and I think it's really important to keep in mind, that the more a parent plays with their child, it really gives them this extra boost. It advances their play skills and a lot of other skills that are developing as a child plays, not only for when they play with you, but when they play on their own as well. So let's talk specifics. What will we do today exactly? We're going to go over the stages of play development for babies and toddlers, so you can start to see what stage of play your baby is supposed to be in. Then we're going to talk about the power play has on language. It really is such an important part of language development, and we're going to talk a little bit about why. And then we're going to talk about toys. What kind of toys do we need, and a little bit about how many. All right, the power of play. In these early years, play has so many benefits for a variety of skills: gross motor skills, fine motor skills, cognitive development. But I'm going to focus on its benefits to language. So for these young guys under 5 years, when they're not doing activities of daily living, the mealtime, diaper change, dressing routines, when they're not engaged in those activities, they're mainly playing. That takes up a huge part of their lives at this age, and maybe a little bit of sleeping too, hopefully, sometimes. Play is fantastic for language. It helps children develop expressive language skills. They've got to talk about what they need, what they want in play. It's huge for promoting vocabulary. So when a child is interested in a play activity, it's a great time to expose them to new words. Because we know from some of our other videos, when you have a child's interest, that's the prime opportunity for language learning. At this age as well, and we will learn more about why as we watch more of this e-learning video, but in this baby and toddler stage, play really helps develop problem-solving skills and really boosts creativity and imagination. It's also, as they get a little older, they start using play routines to learn how to interact with others around them. And we call that social language, the language they use to connect with others. So I thought what I would do is show videos of my children at different stages of play development from birth to around 18 months, so you can get an idea of what play in each stage looks like. Now, the first video here is of my daughter and I. My daughter is probably around 2 months old in this video. So she is in the feeling connected stage of play development. Play is more with people here, and not really so much with objects. Eye contact and tone of voice are very important in playing with an infant at this age. So I will let you have a look at my daughter and I playing.
Oh, that's a good girl. It's a kiss from your mom. Kiss from your mom. Okay, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Okay, get ready. Get ready. Get ready. God bless you. God bless you. Kiss from your mom. Kiss from your mom. Kiss from your mom. Watch her anticipate. Get ready. We do it again. Kiss from your mom. Okay, get ready. Get ready. Kiss from your mom. Kiss from your mom. Kiss from your mom. Yeah, you did such a good job. You're so kicky. Okay, we do it again. We do it again. You gotta get ready. You gotta get ready. You gotta get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Good girl. Good girl. So good. So good. Yeah, she's so happy. What do you want to?
So you can see I'm using a lot of that sing-songy, infant-directed speech. Oh, that's such a good girl. You're so kiki. And that tone of voice is really powerful for infants this age. They really tune into that kind of voice. And then I take those pauses that, and she's not sure what is going on, but she can sense that there's a change in my tone of voice and her body goes still. And then I give her big kisses and we have big smiles. And that is what playing could look like in these early months. The next stage in play development is the looking and noticing stage that occurs between 3 to 6 months of age. So around 3 or 4 months, babies start to take an interest in objects, and so you can involve those in play. But social interaction is still really important at this age. So this is my daughter and I again. She's probably around 5 or 6 months here, and we've introduced Bubbles into the play between us. But you can see the social piece still plays a very important role. So I'll let you have a look at my daughter and I playing with Bubbles.
Oh, there we go. Bubbles, there they are. Should we do it again? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2. Bubbles, bubbles, there was. Let's get it again. Ready? 1, 2. Oh, bubbles! Bubbles! Bubbles. Bubbles, bubbles, bubbles. Can we do it again? Let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bubbles! Bubbles! There it goes!
All right, you can hear me doing a lot of repetition of the word bubbles. That's because she's just coming into kind of a word learning age. So I'm repeating the word bubbles as we play. And she's reaching for those bubbles as they come across. But the social piece about her and I smiling and me talking about the bubbles with her is still really important at this age. All right, at around 5 to 8 months, babies move into the exploration stage in play development. So they're really starting to get more control of their body at this age. They are reaching, grabbing, rolling, crawling, and a lot of stuff goes in the mouth at this age. And that's totally fine and appropriate. And you'll see a lot of those behaviors in their play. So this is my daughter. Again, she is around 7 months old here. So it's just before she learned to crawl. And I am desperate for her to crawl to me, but she is too busy playing with her toys here, the little shapes that go in her shape sorter. So I will let you have a look at my daughter playing.
Hi, Addison. You coming to see Mommy? Come on. Come on over. Come see Mommy. Oh, we went down. Oh, it's no good. Addison, you already have all your toys. It's easier to crawl without your toys. It's easier to crawl without your toys, honey. That's quite the face. Addison. Addison, come see Mommy. Max, not you. Max, not you.
So you can see I really want her to come to me, but she's far too busy. I think we have a little teething going on here as well. Every time she pops one of those into her mouth, she gets that scrunchy little face there, so she's probably teething as well. But you can see she's up, she's down, she's reaching and grabbing at the toys. They go in the mouth. That's pretty characteristic of the exploration stage. The last stage we're going to look at is known as the cause and effect stage in play development. That occurs between 7 to 18 months of age. This is when the infant or toddler really starts to get excited about performing an action and then the effect that that action has. So you'll see them repeating the same activity over and over again. They're really starting to become aware of the control that they can have in the world around them, and they really explore that a lot through play. So this is my daughter again. She's probably around 17 months in this video, and I believe she is with my husband, and they are doing a tower with the nesting cups.
Up.
Pick up the tower. On the top. Oh no. There we are.
So that's her doing her tower, and my husband is using some simple language that goes along with the activity. But she keeps stacking those blocks one on top of the other, and that's an activity she's done over and over and over again. And then she's pretty impressed when her body touches it and it falls over and there's, oh no, because that was an unexpected effect to the action that she did. And that's really typical of play at this stage in the early toddler years. I think sometimes maybe it looks a little bit like toddlers can get into mischief because they keep kind of opening the same drawers and taking the same things out over and over again. But that's really all part of the play that they are trying to do, trying to establish a cause and effect type of a play and learn about the world around them. So not all toys are created equal. You kind of heard me talk a little bit about this in the beginning of the video. I think toys are starting to become a little too techy and a little too complicated, especially for our most little people. It really is the simple toys that are the best, those classic toys. And we'll talk more about that in the next slide. But in general, toys that are great for language development for babies and toddlers are toys that are open-ended. So what I mean by open-ended is there are no beginning, middle, and there are no rules. A ball is a great example of an open-ended toy. There's no right way to play with that ball. There's no specific start with that toy or end with that toy. For this age group, especially in the 5 to 8 months, I love toys that get babies moving, that's really kind of capitalizes on what they want to do at that age. Tunnels that they can crawl through, balls that they can go chase after, those are really great. Multi-sensory toys, stuff that they can have a great texture to it, stuff that they can make noises, that they can listen to, stuff that they can interact with, open and close, all those kinds of things are really great for babies and infants. And stuff that is really associated with their interests. As your baby moves into the early toddler stage, they're going to start showing some preference for a few things. And there is no such thing as a gender-specific toy. There are no boys' toys, no girls' toys. It's whatever they're interested in should be the toy that you provide them with. And actually, my favorite toys and the toys we used at home a lot were whatever I found around the house or whatever was going on in nature. Whenever my children wanted to play with something that they found, we could do all sorts of stuff. And we continue to do that. My 5-year-old still continues to drag a lot of sticks into my house. We have quite a stick collection and they become all sorts of different things. So I encourage you to think outside the box when it comes to toys. Here's a list of a few toy recommendations for the infant and toddler stage. I won't go through it. Take a pause on the video and you can jot a few of these down, or you can go to the Talking Together website. I have a few toy examples for different age groups. All right, let's get into the helpful tips about playing with a baby. So I get asked this question a lot: how do I play with my baby? Especially in the 12-month and under group. So I thought I'd jot down just a few kind of quick tips that I pass along to parents. Firstly, to get organized. So there's nothing worse than when your child, goes to pull out a toy and it's missing the pieces. They go for the ring stacker and there's only one ring to put on it. This becomes a little more important when your baby starts being able to move and pull things on and off, and you've got 3 of the rings for the ring stacker underneath the couch. So just kind of keeping those toys limited and in maybe a few baskets, so when your child is ready to play with that toy, all the pieces are there for them when they want it. Read your baby's cues in play. I like this stock photo here. I would like to think that this mom has been reading her baby's cues, and instead of, putting the rings on the ring stacker, one on top of the other, her baby has shown her that she wanted to kind of explore the ring a little bit more, and now they've started a little game of peekaboo with the ring, and that's great. That's super for play and language development. Use past experiences to help guide your play choices. So if something really worked with your child, kind of try and tune into what they liked and see if you can give them other play options that go with their interests. So If your child, for example, really likes a ball and really likes hitting a ball back and forth, maybe they'll like hitting a balloon as well, and you can offer them that to play with too. Try something new and different. So not always do objects need to be played with the way that they are designed to be played with. Kind of case in point with the stock photo here with the mom peekabooing. So kind of let your inner toddler out and really just have some fun with this play. And go outside. I think that's one of the best things you can do for children. There's so much that's out there for them to explore and touch. And that, again, remember, is really what play in the early years is all about: exploration and cause and effect. And there's just ample out there for them to see and do. And grow as your baby grows and develops. So everything you watched in this video of my daughter going through different stages of play development, I moved along with her so we could still continue to have fun together, because I knew where she was supposed to be or what she wanted to be doing in play. Adding objects into our play when I knew she was ready, and kind of giving her those toys that I knew would stimulate that cause and effect when she was in that cause and effect period. So just a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. Okay, let's get started. I want you to close this video and go and grab what you think your baby would be interested in and go and play. I want you to play like them, play like a baby. I like this stock image as well. We've just got a plastic Tupperware container and what I think are either buttons or checkers, and they're just putting them in the lid, and that's a simple cause and effect kind of a play, and that's what this baby is really interested in doing. I would bet a lot of money that father wouldn't choose this activity if it wasn't with his baby. So that's what I mean, play like a baby. Get down and do what they want to do. Create lots of opportunities for your baby to have a turn too. Don't let you do all the playing. And you see here they've got each have their own toys. So sometimes it can be hard to join in with a toddler especially. But they can each have a turn taking a button here, and this is a great way to kind of play together. And I love when mistakes happen during play. I love when things fall. I love when things become loose and something unexpected happens, and we can capitalize on that silly moment, because don't forget, the whole underlying definition of play is that it's meant to be enjoyable. So as long as you're both having fun, you're definitely doing the right things. If you want to, you can go check out a few of these resources here. I especially like making one fun. I found this mom on Instagram, and she's fantastic. She's got a lot of really great, super easy ideas for how to play with baby, and she's worth checking out. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comments, feedback, questions can all be sent at the Talking Together website, talkingtogether.ca. Thank you very much.